Hey, here it appears that I am watching my screen blink over and over again as it tries to put me in a live state here. Looks like I'm in a live state now. It's like being reanimated, I guess. I've never been reanimated before, but if I were, then I would think this is probably how it begins. Hello to those of you who are here, and I bet I know who that is. And hello to everyone who will be here at some point. Hopefully, there will be more than just the two of us out here, although that would be okay with me too. And we're going to get started here in a few minutes in my usual disorganized way. Hope everything is going okay. Whatever day or time it is that you happen to see this video, things are going fine with me. Thank you very much. What is today? Today is a Sunday. I made planter boxes for the side of our newly painted garage and put them up. So that's a big win. And yeah, so that was kind of my whole day. Let's see here. Get some sounds properly set up here. I'm so organized. I have everything prepared hours in advance. No. But that is just how it goes. We're gonna do another. Try that again. We're gonna do another round of Stanley Parable today. I started the game 2 streams ago just as kind of a filler because I really needed to get my last Kingdom Come videos done. They're not done, but at least I finally got one out yesterday, and the next one is queued up and getting closer to release. But anyway, I thought, oh, I love Stanley Parable. I'll play through some of that, and that ended up working out okay. And then I thought, oh, new content, I'll do it one more time. But then it was so much fun doing the new content stuff that even if nobody shows up, I'm having too much fun. So I'm going to go through. I had no idea that the new content was effectively, along with some of the new stuff, was actually like rewriting the entire game. So I thought that was pretty cool. Mirko, another round of our favorite ending. Yeah, that's there. That's what we're stuck with. Delighted to have you here. Once again, we're gonna play the game. How long does it take me to bore Mirko to tears and make him quit the stream? Somewhere between, I don't know. We'll see how long it takes this time. But I'm really glad you're here. I enjoy seeing your name pop up every time you show up. So a little bit of tough fellow. It's peach flavored. It turns out, by the way, I like this a lot. It turns out I'm the only person in town that likes this because the supermarket had a big shopping cart of it yesterday when I went to the store, and it was just full of these bottles, and it was like, it's 70% off. Please get it out of our store. I know the guy who runs the store, so I bumped into him and I said, oh, thank you for lowering the price because I like this. He's like, oh, you do? I said, am I the only one in town that likes it? He says, yeah, I think so. So it was marked down to basically free after I take off the the deposit that I get back. It's like just a few cents for the whole bottle of it. So good stuff. Yeah. So it's 9 o'clock your time. Oh, see, this is good. Yeah, this is good. If I can, if I can put people to sleep in a good way, then that's awesome. That's kind of an honor, actually. Um, there's so many inappropriate things I could say. Normally, I don't have any filters or restraint, but for some reason this time I'm actually experiencing a sense of dread and caution about starting to make. Yeah, anyway, let's go have some fun here. It's the I don't even know what the hell I'm doing here. Let's go do the thing that we're supposed to be doing. That sounds like a good idea. Hopefully there's sound. I trust that if we begin to monkey around here and there is no sound, um, that you all will let me know that. Just there, I got a little click. That's a good sign. They want me to enter the time as usual. I can't remember if you weren't here before, or if you were here last time but you don't remember, the last time I set the clock, the game was so grateful that I had carefully set the clock to the right time each day that it told me that I could set the clock to anything I wanted just for fun. It doesn't even have to be the right time. So so I'm going to set the clock to 11:22. And the reason for that, I have no idea, but we're going to go with that. Here we go. All right, let's. Yep, that's my favorite. Because it's my favorite time of day. No, I didn't. I didn't this time. I'm sorry, Mr. Game or Ms. Game. Yeah, Stanley gets to work at 11:22 a.m. Yeah. So let's find out how accurate this is. How accurate is it? It's this accurate. Well, actually, it's completely accurate for 11:22. It's not the current time, but that's not really what they're asking. They're asking how accurate is 11:20. 11:22 is a very accurate time. It's just not the current time. This is good stuff. Yeah, absolutely. And then it may be 11:22 again even after that time. So you know, yeah. Um, so this is apparently the YouTube algorithm that I'm talking to. It's good to collect data. Yes, it is. We love to collect data. Wish we had more sliders. Ah, man, I love this game. Yes, please invent some new sliders for me. It shouldn't be too hard. Oh, next time I boot up the game. Okay, well, I guess that'll have to be another time. But you know what? There's no way I'm going to finish all of the endings today. So I'll have to come back. I don't know if we're going to do another stream of it, but I'm kind of itching to start Baldur's Gate. But I have to go back and spend a little time on this.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on it.
We can skip. Because at this point, basically, it's just you and me, so we've seen this before. Expedition 33. I'm not too sure. I saw a review of it. There's another small YouTuber down in Australia named Freybeard, and I started following him a while back just because. And if I hadn't heard that it was really super popular, I would have just kind of blown it off. But I've heard people say it's really, really, really good. And I kind of like the premise, you know, the overall concept in the story. It didn't make it didn't give me the shakes when I saw some of the gameplay in terms of, oh my god, I totally need to play this, but it didn't make me irritated either. I'm not sure if that's the right. And I know about the, I don't know, the popularity thing. That's I guess if I jumped in and started playing it right away, then I'd probably grab some people who wanted to see the gameplay for that. But I don't know. Then they'd expect me to just follow really popular things, and I don't know if I'm popular that way. Oh, you know. Oh no, I have to. Oh, you know what?
All of his co-workers were gone.
You can't
what could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I want my bucket. But I haven't ruled it out in terms of playing the game.
Spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
Yeah. Yeah, I think turn-based is, I'll tell you what I prefer. I actually prefer turn-based play. My happy place, my comfort zone is if we're going to be doing combat, I really prefer it to be first person or, you know, overhead. I mean, it can be ISO also, but I want it to be me if we're doing combat. If I have party control, then turn-based is okay for me, because then person A needs to be doing this, person B needs to be doing that. Okay, let's go. I remember when I played the first Dragon Age game that it was kind of a hybrid where they said, okay, you're going to have a party, so it's going to be you and then a companion and then another companion, and now there's 4 of you, and oh my God, there's skeletons in this room. Scatter and do what you do best. And it absolutely drove my wife crazy because I was it's like, oh, holy cow, skeletons. And so I'd hit pause. And then I go, okay, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to go over here and do this. And then I will come in and I will start doing this other thing. And then I would say, okay, everybody is set up, resume. And I wouldn't get more than 1 or 2 seconds in before one of the NPC party members was like, I'm going to go over here now and do, and I'm like, stop. So I spent the entire game, start, stop, and issuing new commands. And I still liked the game. I only played the first 2 Dragon Age ones. It got to be too much after a while, but if they're not going to either be fully autonomous, like, this guy over here while I'm playing Mass Effect or something like that, then if I have to control them repeatedly, then I am going to, just may as well make it turn-based for me. So
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Let's see, where the heck are we here? You know what? I want to go...
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him,
It's not
telling
static.
him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Oh, that's right. I remember seeing that in the review that I saw, where you could like, basically, you could do master strike interrupts and that kind of thing, and it could potentially improve your chances to defend or deal increased damage, that kind of thing. I had forgotten about that.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Oh, I dread the confusion ending if with the bucket. We'll have to
No,
check that out, maybe.
said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
So yeah, I don't
Good,
know.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact.
I
He
never
was
saw
firmly
that little
convinced that the
pathway
bucket
down
had
there
spoken
before.
to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
I can't say for sure that I know for sure it wasn't there before. That's a little strange. Oh yes. Yes, he has a bucket now.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Yeah. Speak.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home where we can go about life together.
Yeah. That's a pretty authoritarian bucket.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke.
Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
Can't you see? Oh, goodness.
Oh.
I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker?
You're just...
Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
Yes.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by
Hey.
stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of
Good
the
to
joke,
see you, sir.
including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm Dunny with the funny. I'm Dunny.
Good. This
Yeah.
saying is a perfect example of expectations management,
with
which
the
is
funny.
the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal,
Yes, sir.
you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, with each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence, and to very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles, all of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Holy cow.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery.
ya.
Come along, let's head back.
That was L. Ron Hubbard on both some kind of mushrooms and alcohol at the same time, I think. Wow.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I
Let's
wouldn't be the
go
king
now.
of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
What was that all about? Yeah, that's a really good question. And actually, in the little shrine museum place, that's one of the endings in the first game, they said that Kevin had to do, over the course of the 3 years, I think, that the game was developed, I think he did 3 completely different complete speak-throughs of the whole game. So it must have been a lot of hours.
Here we go. You
Okay.
ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
But, okay, I don't want to do that, so... Yeah, no kidding. I actually, I read something about him today or yesterday, because I was curious about... Well, I wanted to know, make sure I knew how to spell his name properly, because it's not Kevin with an I. But then he apparently he's still out there and obviously working, which is not a surprise. But he apparently has been just inundated ever since Stanley Parable came out with requests to be the narrator for some project or another. And apparently it's gotten to the point now where he's just like, you know what, unless this is a big project, the answer is just no, because I need to do something with my life that's not just snippets of narrator.
What? We're back at the phone already? No, what's going on? There were supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point, a dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land, or not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the 2 doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think
Oh no!
I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again. Yes, surely that will help me improve my...
Please don't.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Okay, I guess I better do this one then.
No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on, all because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
That was really good.
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal, I think I saw it playing guitar. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes.
I'm sorry,
I
narrator.
need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos. Let's see.
Okay. All right. That was good.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled.
All right.
He'd never be alone
go.
again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the
Okay, here
meeting
we go.
room.
We're going to do that
But
again.
Stanley had felt the bucket
This time we're going to
calling
answer
to
the
him,
phone.
telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
I did, and for some reason, I don't think anything actually happened.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
I got to go back
Stanley
and check
took
that.
the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Nope, we're going to go back over here. I want to
No.
look here.
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to
Yeah.
the cargo lift.
This was not here before. And so then I can't jump. But can I ghost my way over there? Yeah, maybe. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, that's the last figure thing. Oh, I'm glad I checked that out. Otherwise, I'd be going nuts trying to figure out where that thing is.
And there it is, the last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job
Come on,
well
pay
done
up.
is its own reward.
I want it.
I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that.
Pay me.
So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Seriously? I'm still going to die if I go down there. But there appeared to be a way back. The Ultra Deluxe Edition, yeah. Yes, it has collectibles, though there is no point to collecting them, of course. I was giggling because that reminded me of the feathers in Assassin's Creed. There's like 100 of them. It takes you 8 million years to find them, and then you find them, and you get. I don't remember what you get, but it was like, here's a little certificate or something, and there was no hello. There was nothing there. Oh, cool. Whoa. This is fun. This is a reward, you know. old dead copy machine. 500 tons of raw copying power. I'm a messenger from the printer. You're a messenger from the printer. Hello. Printers get a lot of stick for not being as simple as they were in the early noughties. They were not simple back in the early noughties. They were horrible back then. They get a lot of hate for refusing to print when only one of the ink cartridges is empty. Yeah. You think that's their call? They didn't design themselves. Educate yourself before you cast shade. Usually these are really hard to read. The day of ink is known in the annals, for scarcely has a day seen so much wanton ink shed. Okay. That's going to take me too long to read. Ink is printer blood. I mean, it is written in blood. Printers are alive. Vegans shouldn't print. Think on that. Yeah, okay. Wow. Right here. Now I'm getting trolled. Yeah. I'd have to enlarge and do all kinds of crap, and it's not going to happen. Yeah. Off we go. Cassette players or cassettes. Kids, these were places where music and data could originally be stored back in the old day. There was a machine that would read the tape that was wound around these devices, and the tape would encode things that could then be translated into sound. Wow. Cassette. Yeah, cassette. I fucking love being old. Let's see here. Oh, I said the F word, and now Google YouTube, they're going to punish me. They're going to say, oh no, Gene, there is a reward. There should be. Lost cats. That's not good. I want to go looking for the cat now. Oh, there. Hey, hang on. Never even occurred to me to...
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number...
Yeah.
I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get me. What's that? Who's there?
Oh, man. So I didn't get to explore any further there. Maybe there may not have been anything else there. I don't know. God, boy.
Stanley,
Hey,
I'm sorry, but
hey,
I have to put a pause on things.
Wait, whoa.
It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them
There's
since you
nothing
nabbed
here.
every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love
Okay.
nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Wait, what? What do you mean revisit the figurines? But yeah, hey, you're the boss at the moment, so let's go do this. You sure there's no way out of? Yes, of course not. Now remembering when Stanley found the collectibles, that would be a good name for like a really cheesy old people's band that's playing in like a Holiday Inn airport or something like that. Stanley and the Collectibles. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this is all the same stuff, Mr. Narrator. Oh, it's probably going to be like a place to...
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
No. That's true. Am I making progress here? Yeah, it looks like it. Oh, man. This is like going inside your own brain. No. No. This is something different. Seven out of 6. Hey, now. Oh, this is so crazy. I keep reaching my finger for the flashlight button or the torch button or whatever.
And here was a second Stanlerine. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Oh, that sounds like something I've heard at work most of my life. Yeah. I love it. Yes. And then now we have to go up. And we can't go up here. Oh, no, there's a double railing preventing me from going further here. And then, yeah.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
Yes, I do. Of course I do. It was here. But I'm tempted to not remember properly. Nah, we just remember properly. Whatever.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here in the boss's bathroom. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
Yeah. How can I not remember?
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Same one. Okay. 10 out of 6. This, I don't think we've ever seen this pink room before. That was almost a bucket. Yup, then there was
This was the
here.
5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was by the red and blue doors. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Absolutely. Memory is infallible. Yeah. This
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
I feel like that video was a pretty good approximation. Maybe a little further ahead than I am right now on YouTube, but that looked very familiar to me. Yeah, yeah, okay. Oh, well, we're not going this way. We are definitely going this way. This memory zone is very complex. Sarah, hello. Good to see you again. Glad you're here. Oh.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final
Yes.
figurine, right here in the warehouse. This memory is the
Yes.
most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others.
Yes.
Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other.
Wow.
Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Yes. So now I have 12 of them. Wow. I feel enriched having gone on that little journey down recent memory lane. You are in the present.
And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
What the hell?
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
I would rather examine this fern if that's okay. I'm sure it will be very important later in this figurine episode. Okay, here we go.
Okay, yes, this spot in the warehouse. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
Oh, they're not going to let me jump. That was worth a try anyway. I've already done bad by the narrator that way once, so maybe not. But... Yes. Oh, which door to choose? Remember, choice is very important.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched? Yes, I love that video.
6 hours of gameplay at least. And there you have it. Yes, we did. What if I don't pick that one up? What if I just go on ahead? May I do that?
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Doesn't look like I get that one if... Anyway, we could get hundreds if we do this, and... Well, he did... So it doesn't even show... Oh, here it is. I didn't go far enough. I should have left that one. About half a second behind myself here.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Yeah. Right. No, that's a nothing. Okay. And then down the stairway.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figlarines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep
I
going.
knew it.
What else is there? What came before this?
The exit. Yeah. That would have been not so good here, huh? Oh, that's right. This was the
Look,
jump
it's the
circle.
terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
No, I really kind of regret this whole memory thing at this point.
Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office?
No.
There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
I was brought into being here in this office.
Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And
Ouch.
Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
That was interesting. There's a recurring theme here. Please, I just want to go back. I want to go back to this again. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to be there. That appears in multiple endings. And the narrators talked about that a couple of times in the new content as well. That's I don't know if it's sometimes we repeat the same stuff as people, especially for expressive people, musicians, writers, that kind of thing. We have things that are locked in our heads, and so we tend to focus on those. We use similar melodies sometimes. We'll use similar phrases. So I don't know if that was an intentional piece of writing.
All of his co-workers
probably
were gone.
was.
What could it mean?
But it's
Stanley
really
decided to
interesting.
go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. The good old bucket.
Oh, that one.
Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on
Making me
another
think too
thrilling
much
adventure
again.
together.
Okay.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Right. So
This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
now I want to go do
But
the
Stanley
telephone
had
one.
felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was
Which-
simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Forward.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
And that was
In
good.
here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Okay.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Yeah, I'm like, oh yes, sir, Mr. Bucket.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Okay. Oh, I'm supposed to go in. Apologies. Interesting. I played the demo. Mind control facility. Ha. Wow. The beige pages. Hey, kids. Used to be a time when every city, at least in the United States, had its own little book with all of everybody's telephone numbers written down. Man, that's crazy to think about, actually. Yeah, okay. Oh, and here's the bucket. Press Y to take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Yeah. Oh, so we're gonna go to work today. Hello.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
You know, it's pretty impractical for Stanley to be carrying around such a large inanimate object as kind of a companion and comfort and other things. They could just make like a little flat square or something that you could bring with you everywhere you go and hold it, and you could talk to it and it would talk back to you. I mean, it's not like that could ever be a thing, but still, you know.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
And yet... Don't listen to the loud man.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Anyone in your life except for me.
It's sad. I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
Yeah. Oof. Wow. Or the blood of the fallen, or the tears of our victims. Wow.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
There's that, yeah. And sometimes, in all honesty, there are things that we really, really need to do and want to do that other people say, but that sounds boring, or that doesn't sound like fun. But we want to do it anyway. Relive the same day with me over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying?
Yeah.
Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Home to work, to home, to work.
Oh no,
to home.
I'm having feelings for the bucket. No, 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 no. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes, the bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
Candles. We're gonna not talk about all the stuff that could be in that bucket now.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it, or I'll...
Go back to work, Stanley. It's okay, Stanley. You are normal. You are okay. Wow, that was some...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps...
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
Oh my goodness.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yeah. I can't remember. I thought
Still no one was here.
There was the
Stanley
broom
needed the bucket's
closet.
warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
And this is all the same.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom
That's right.
closet. Simply
That's
because I
right.
have no remaining stickers. If I
Right.
did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for
So,
hours.
there's your answer.
But alas, no stickers.
The first time we went in, that's where we got the 2 stickers on the, and we had it. There was a big back and forth between the narrator accusing the broom closet of trying to separate the bucket from us because it was just cleaning supplies. So I'd forgotten that.
Coming to a staircase,
the Martiello
Stanley and the
one.
bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I kind of miss the figurines. No, I don't.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotion, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
I think it was the other way
This is
around.
certainly the most logical explanation.
I think the broom closet was declaring the bucket to be of lesser value because it was just cleaning supplies, and Stanley shouldn't be carrying it. That was kind of my take on it.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring
If
that in
not
this
for the
darkest moment of
bucket.
uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
There it is again. Everything will be fine.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
All right, we'll see. We'll stay on the catwalk this time. Man, I'm glad I saw that one though, where there's the little room down there.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Stanley and the bucket.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Hello? Hello? Oh, I've already... Yeah, already clicked that one. How about this one? There we go.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
It's a great question.
These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Crazy.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Oh, yeah. There is something familiar about the bucket and some of the NPC companions that I've had in various games. Oh man! No, we're gonna turn them on.
But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls.
The bucket
Stanley
did it.
gasped in horror.
Oh,
Had this been the bucket's plan all along?
Bucket.
To take over the machine and claim the power for itself?
Oh no!
How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds.
Silly birds.
Silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Oh, this is good. Let's show me more silly birds.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world.
410 billion of them.
Were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
Damn. Oh, that was good. Okay. So we don't lose that thread.
Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it?
So we don't lose that thread.
This office? A good bucket. A strong bucket. A
I'm gonna
humble
run through
bucket,
and I'm going to try the...
bucket. A bucket of culture and distinction.
Well, all right.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
No,
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
I wasn't sure if I was expecting it.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
No stickers. No dentist.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer
Okay, so
luck.
it doesn't...
Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
So there aren't multiple versions of that, at least.
Explanation.
All right, down you go, Stanley.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Okay, we got that.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Stanley and the bucket.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter.
Yeah.
His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system. Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support. What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed?
Oh.
An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
That was dark. That was also unintentional. Wow. That was funny. They had me fooled. As soon as the thing starts to come down, and
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
And the happy, soothing music starts. I was thinking, so they're going to have two happy endings. It was not to
Embrace
be.
of an old friend, a weathered companionship that stands the test of time. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I think I'm going to jump.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room. And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Da-da-da.
Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
What the hell? care about you, Stanley. Oh,
You see,
it's the
your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
okay. That's fine. Ex-wife and game with the baby.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Refactor basics. There we go.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about.
There
Don't you
we
remember
go.
all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
No. This is an intervention, isn't it? Uh-oh.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
No.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you.
I'm guessing...
Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
I'm guessing I can't figure out
Now
what
listen
it
to me.
would do.
It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait.
I could give
Sure,
it the
I can
paint
hear
buckets
you
here.
saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and
Shades of
Bucket
Portal
Destroyer.
2 here.
My prized creation. You had so much potential. We
It's
were
in
going to do such
space.
marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Still not quite as sad as losing Adder. But close. Okay, so there was that.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
I should probably,
The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things.
I think we need to
clutched
go.
the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket
This
calling
way.
to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
I think
Stanley
we need.
took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
I'm going to be heading to the game with the baby and see what
No,
has become of
Said
that.
the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley
Okay.
did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he
Oh.
unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
That was close. Do you want to still
No,
show?
stop. Look there on the wall. You see? There's a sign right there.
Oh, I
it says,
can't go
no
there."
buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket?
Oh,
I
no.
suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this
I
point.
have to redo
which,
this one now.
If that's true, well, my goodness. I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Okay. Well, this one was kind of fun, actually, so...
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket.
I am ready.
Okay, let's begin.
Okay.
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket,
Ha.
not an actual bucket.
Yeah.
Item 2. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 3. Is this a bucket?
No.
Incorrect. This is
yeah.
a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket? What? Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. This is a bucket. Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha. Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Yes. Thank you.
There's nothing here.
Trying to
Of
do
course
the
it
things
isn't
that I
a
didn't
bucket.
do the last
We
time.
both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless, is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go.
Flurp?
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket? Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue. But it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what. I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person. All right, here we go.
I think I'm more of a construct than a bucket. Or a handle. I don't really point. I have no point, so I'm not a pointer. Oh my God. No. You know what? Wow. I can't even imagine. Is there anything? Oh, you know what?
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it?
It's paper
is this
everywhere.
Stanley's office? Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed.
We need to go check out the museum and see if that has
Stanley
changed.
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest
The
and
escape
entered
route.
the door on his left.
But I think...
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Is it going to be the same every time?
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
What's the... Yeah, it's mind control escape.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
It must be that. All right, down we go.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. But of course, Stanley and the bucket thought better of it and realized they simply had too much to live for. Nope, it's death for Stanley and the bucket.
Death comes for all buckets.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Well, here we then go. Yep, bucket's here too.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous
They
metal
got her
jaws.
too.
In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
It sounds like the same voice actors, which leads me to wonder what it must be like to be a voice actor, and you do this bit for this video game and it turned out to be popular, but this Kevin guy, he did all the work except for this one little thing. And then 10 years later, you get a phone call. "Hey, do you remember that game you did? Could you redo it, except this time with a bucket?"
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Oh my gosh. And so it's got its own little shrine. Oh. To the grand exhibit. The precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Wow. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you? Will you accept with an open mind? Will you change the lives of yourself and your... Are we back? Oh, that's good. And there's just not that much here, because it's about the bucket.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Ascension. Oh my goodness. It's still going. 25 buckets. The greatest number of buckets ever captured. That's 25 buckets. Okay. Well, I guess technically there are 25 buckets in that image. There are also other buckets along with those 25. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Oh, man. Inferno bucket. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains that no one can control a bucket. Oh, a stress bucket. I've heard of these. Presented without commentary. Oh, it's a patent figure. Vulnerability, size and strength of the bucket. Coping strategies are holes. Stress is the level of water in the bucket. Rest and relaxation, doing something you enjoy, which would be rest and relaxation. Sure. I've heard those words, rest and relaxation, before. I'm not really sure what they... I must be a different language, because I'm not really sure what they mean. Oh, this is good. Cave drawing. The bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Oh, we frequently do. The hanging bucket. Yeah, I'm thinking we must try. Jump for the bucket, Stanley. I thought I was going to fall.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
Hail bucket.
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Oh, the bucket. That was something of a miscalculation. It's good. Oh, man. Well, I don't know here, folks. I picked up most of the content that I think is most of the endings over the last 2 days with the bucket. There's got to be a few places I haven't gone, but I feel like we've kind of covered this here. And it being Sunday night, maybe it's just us here. Oh, it shows that somebody else just joined, but it was fun. This was good. Every now and then when I play a game, I get to a point where I feel like this was enough. And this is good. I'm happy to pick up Stanley, and I always do this. I'll take him off the shelf again at some point because I want to go back and look at something. But I feel like I've come far enough here in this case. Person number 4, you just joined. Sorry, I just finished. He laughed. I'm not sure why that's probably not going to be very well received, but anyway, I'm going to be back again this Sunday, so I guess Tuesday will be the next stream. I'm going to be back again. We're probably just going to start Baldur's Gate. I'm finally getting Kingdom Come Deliverance cleaned up, and the videos are starting to get put out. So I think it's safe to start up the next thing. Yeah, no, it was great for you, and just for you, my friend, I'm Dunny with the funny. Anyway, thanks a million, you guys. I really appreciate you hanging out here tonight. It's always a good thing, and we'll be I'll be around, and I'll put up a heads up and a schedule the next streams when I'm 100% sure that I know what I'm doing. So anyway, you guys take care. Have a good rest of your night. Mirko, get some sleep before you fall asleep here, okay? I think he's gone. Anyway, you guys take care, and we'll see you all again soon.